Shalom Israel, this is the brother Kadar Gabar here again. I'd like to start off by saying and giving all praises and glory to the Heavenly Father in His only begotten Son name, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and respect to all the brothers preaching and teaching the truth worldwide in sincerity, peace and blessings to the hopefully elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom. I'm sure you brothers and sisters heard by now, what's going on over there in Israel and between the Israelis and Palestinians. The wars, the war they having against one another, and it's just Bible prophecy, man. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, it's prophesied that these things must come to pass. And there's just two nations, Soon America, Russia, China, all gonna get into it, This is Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. And we hearing about the wars that's going on over there. See that ye be not troubled. Don't be troubled. Don't be afraid. Because we know why these things happening. We know who in control of what's going on. Our Father Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. For all these things must come to pass. It gotta happen. But the end is not yet. Say the same thing in Mark 13, verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled for these things, for such things must come. Salakia, reading it from how Matthew said. Salakia. Let me read it from the top. Mark 13, verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. These things gotta happen. These wars gotta happen between these nations, these kingdoms, But the end is not yet, The end is when the elect get beamed up and nuclear missiles hit Babylon the Great, aka America, This is Luke 21, verse 9. And after I read this, I got a video, like 9 minutes long, But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. Don't be afraid of these things that's going on. Us that's in this truth, that fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and believe on His word. Don't be terrified of the things that's going on. These people of the world are terrified. They're going to be troubled, be afraid. But we know we're on the right side of the Father, and we know He's going to protect and help us get through this. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. The end is not yet. These things going to happen, and we're going to see it happen, And it's beautiful to see it happen. Oh, brother, what you talking about? That's not good. That's not a good thing to say. It is. Us that's in this truth, we love to see this happen. It means this place is going down, and our kingdom is being born. This is beautiful to see. to prophesy against to prophesy against this wicked world and to see these things come to pass. You know, these prophecies to come to pass, and it's beautiful, man. You know, it's beautiful. But I'm gonna play this video, you know, about what's going on over there. So let's get to it.
The UN has expressed fears of a full-scale war as the deadly conflict between Israeli forces and Palestinians continues for a third day. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned Palestinian militants that this was just the beginning, threatening to strike with blows they haven't dreamed of. Tonight, President Biden said he had spoken to Mr. Netanyahu and said he hoped the violence would end sooner rather than later. At least 65 Palestinians, including 15 children, and 6 Israelis are reported to have been killed since Monday. In the past few days, Palestinian militants have fired a mass barrage of rockets into Israel, including on Tel Aviv. And Israel has carried out a heavy bombardment of Gaza, launching hundreds of airstrikes. Tensions have been growing in Jerusalem, partly fueled by a long-running threat to evict Palestinians from their homes in East Jerusalem. It all came to a head on Friday at Al-Aqsa Mosque. The site where it stands is highly sensitive, sacred for both Muslims and Jews. Israeli police used CS gas and stun grenades at the mosque, and Palestinian youths threw rocks at them. Here's our Middle East correspondent, Tom Bateman.
The world's asking if the region's on the brink of war. People who work to this feel it's already here. Palestinians in Gaza face the fiercest Israeli bombardment since the last all-out conflict. Israel says it's going after militant leaders. Some were killed in their homes. But civilians died in this strike, say Palestinian health officials. In Gaza, a territory under blockade, grief quickly turns to anger. Dozens have died here since the violence erupted on Monday, and they're still counting their dead. Rocket fire from Gaza has continued deep into Israel, and the sirens are near non-stop in towns close by. Okay, that's an interception. Let's get in. Jimmy. As we've heard, airstrikes pound the Gaza Strip just a couple of miles away. Throughout the course of this morning into the afternoon, more retaliation, more fire from Gaza. Under fire, Asher and his son Maor ran for safe room. But their neighbour, an 89-year-old woman, didn't make it. She's seriously injured. Her carer died in the strike.
זה לא יכול להיות. זה דבר, שמע, אנשים פה איבדו את החיים שלהם.
There are growing international calls for restraint, but for now, it seems that no one here is listening. It is the intensity of these attacks that has led both sides to say they will step up their strikes in retaliation. A descent into much further violence seems inevitable. More rockets are shot down in Israel's skies. Tonight, in a mixed Jewish-Arab town, I saw how fear and chaos is spreading. Violence between Jews and Arabs inside Israel is spiraling. Here, Jewish extremists attack an ambulance and then check a car to see if Arabs or Jews are inside.
Crypto.com Visa card. A metal card. Powered by crypto.
Along the coast, a popular Arab restaurant comes under attack. In another mixed town, a Jewish man is beaten by Arab Israelis. A synagogue has also been torched. Israel's leader calls it anarchy. A wave of anger that started in Jerusalem has spilled out to the occupied territories and into Israel itself. The country's engulfed in multiple flashpoints. It may be too late to contain it now. A curfew being enforced in one of those towns. It seems to be largely ineffective tonight. And Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that he is now considering sending in army troops to some of those areas experiencing those kinds of confrontations. As to the wider military conflict, as you were saying, Sophie, the US President Joe Biden says that his expectation and hope is it should end sooner rather than later, while also saying that he believes Israel has the right to defend itself. But with more airstrikes pounding the Gaza Strip in the last couple of hours and more rocket fire within that time, that certainly seems, from this perspective, a long way off.
Our Middle East correspondent Tom Bateman in Jerusalem. Thank you. Well, let's talk to Rushdie Abu Alof, who's in Gaza City. And what's the situation there tonight?
The sound of bombs and airstrikes are continue shortly after midnight here in Gaza. It's been the longest day of fighting since years. Israel hit hundreds of targets, and Hamas, the militancy group, fired hundreds of rockets. This situation is leaving this place in a very grim sort of picture. People are suffering from the sound of sonics, the sound of bombing, a very angry and shocking mood to see the scale of destruction around the Gaza Strip after this very long day and very long night of fighting. And it doesn't seem the night is over yet. In the last 5 minutes, the Israeli airplanes have targeted a place in Khan Yunis. They are talking about also casualties in the place, and the latest Health Ministry figure is talking about more than 60 people killed. Half of them are civilians.
Rushdie Abu Alof, thank you very much. Well, it's the worst violence in the region for 7 years. Tensions have been mounting in Jerusalem throughout the holy month of Ramadan. Our correspondent Caroline Hawley looks at what has sparked this deadly confrontation.
The conflict between Israelis and Palestinians hasn't made headlines in recent years, but it's been a tinderbox waiting to explode. The spark, Jerusalem, a city of sacred sites and simmering tensions, the heart of the conflict. And now, with depressing familiarity, it's ignited violence once again. So what's behind the latest escalation? Palestinian anger has been mounting for weeks. There have been clashes over a threat to evict dozens of families from their homes in Israeli-occupied East Jerusalem in favour of Jewish settlers. There's also been trouble between Israeli police and Palestinians infuriated by restrictions on them gathering at the entrance to the Old City at sunset. And then, on the last weekend of Ramadan, came clashes at Al-Aqsa Mosque, where Israeli security forces said Palestinians had been throwing stones. On Monday, Israel accused worshippers of preparing to attack a planned march by Israeli hardliners, and troops stormed into the holy compound. Hamas, which rules the Gaza Strip, is now portraying itself as the protector of Jerusalem, the defender of Muslim worshippers. It's called its barrages of rocket fire Operation Sword of Jerusalem. So why does Jerusalem matter so much?
Get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Install the Chime app today and get started.
لو بغيتوا تتعلموا اللغة الإنجليزية معظم الوقت راح تستخدموه في جوالكم، لأن الجوال سهل الوصول وممتع استخدامه.
The importance of Jerusalem is perhaps the one thing that the two sides can actually agree on. It has both religious and national significance. The Israelis see it as their eternal, undivided capital, while for the Palestinians, they want it, or at least the eastern part of it, as the capital of their future state. But this latest escalation has gone way beyond Jerusalem. It's revived memories of the war in Gaza in 2014, which left more than 2,000 Palestinians and dozens of Israelis dead. That's the last time there was an explosion of violence on this scale. So what's been the international response? One of growing alarm. The UN Secretary-General said peace talks were the only way forward and must be revived. Boris Johnson and the Americans urged Israelis and Palestinians to step back from the brink.
We believe Palestinians and Israelis equally deserve to live with safety and security. And we'll continue to engage with Israelis, Palestinians, and other regional partners to urge de-escalation and to bring calm.
But for now, neither side showed the slightest sign of backing down, and as so often, it's civilians on both sides paying the price. Caroline Hawley, BBC News.
And there's more explanation of what's happening on the BBC News website. That's bbc.co.uk/news.